What do you think Instagram has done for business? Has it done something similar where they're seeing somebody like you and it's driving them to
That's a really good observation. So I think what that does, when you have more awareness of everything, what it does is exposes people. So I don't think there's a general answer of that, right? Winners say, fuck, 750, I'm going 760.
Right.
A lot of people go the other way and get discouraged and bow out. It's the way I think about rich kids. I've succumbed, and it was something I tried, I don't know how I thought I was gonna fix this, but like, I'm aware that my children are gonna grow up extremely well off. And they're gonna do one of two things once they realize what I'm up to. They're gonna look at that and they're gonna say, what I did with my dad, which for where we were seemed like a big accomplishment. I'm gonna climb that mountain and I used to tell my dad, like, I'm gonna do so much more than you that you're gonna feel that it's disrespectful to even put our names in. I mean, I was so competitive with my own dad. I'm like, you're not even gonna say my name because it's gonna be disrespectful to compare the two of us. And he would get mad too. We were competitive. But a lot, you know, now I have fancy friends, well-off friends, third generation wealth friends, and a lot of kids go completely the other way, right? They're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna climb that. And actually, I kind of feel guilty that I fly on private jets and have a Hamptons home. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take mommy and daddy's money and give it away. I'm gonna be a nonprofit, or I'm gonna go build homes, and by the way, I'm comfortable with whatever Misha and Xander decide to do. I genuinely am. But that's what happens when you get exposed to big things. Right. You either decide to go, and the reason you see 800 and more now is a small percentage of the great winners put in the triple work because they're aware and push it forward. One of the biggest reasons athletes are better in today's world is Magic Johnson didn't know that Larry Bird was taking 5,000 free throws. Yeah. They just found each other in college and were like, damn. Yeah. Now, everybody's, you know, when you're in 6th, 7th, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, you have they're grading kids at such a young, you know where you sit. And it's pushing you harder if you're really that star. Right. And so maybe Larry Bird would have taken 3,000 shots if he knew Magic was taking 1,200.
Right. How old are your kids?
7 and 4.
What do you think is the most important thing to do with them in terms of, you know, a parent is going to be the one that has to guide their kid. You're going to have to make your kid do things that they don't want to do, such as like eat vegetables or finish their dinner, and just not eat too much sugar and so on, right? When it comes to
or not. I think one of the great debates that I play with now is what is established cliche, eat your vegetables, and what is actually the value of that in reality. Right. Truth is, the far majority of people I know probably didn't eat their vegetables or definitely anybody who's 41 ate way too much sugar and drank soda 24. I mean, I drank soda every day of my life. To me, the things I think most about are number 1, 2, 3, and 4 is to build self-esteem. So my belief is that self-esteem is the only drug that combats the world. Yeah. I genuinely believe
powerful.
That. In parallel, it's imperative that you don't build fake self-esteem. Right. Self-esteem can't be manufactured through rewarding, non-rewarding events.
Right. So if like you participation trophies.
Correct. Yeah. You can't come in 8th place in the race in school and then get prized for that because that's just not real life. Mm-hmm. However, Xander, for example, this weekend, when Max got hurt, his nephew, stopped what he was doing and came over and showed amazing empathy for a 4-year-old. That has become now the thing I've talked to him about for 2 days. Yeah. That he's incredible, that you have such a great heart. Right. Like, to me, you triple down. This is, by the way, this is me being a byproduct of being what I think perfectly parented. This is what my mom did. Yeah. My mom over-exaggerated my natural goodness as a person to make me believe it was like the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And she never gave me 3rd place trophies, and when I lost, I lost. And she made me realize there were repercussions in life, so when I got bad grades, even though she knew I was gonna be very special, I was literally punished. Like, it was like clockwork. You know how like the sun and the moon do their thing? From 5th grade to senior of high school, I was punished every single mid-October, that's the first report card, late December, early March, and the end of the year.
What age?
From 5th grade, for 7 to 8 years consistently, I was grounded.
I know, we're in the middle of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that subconsciously I knew that it wasn't the most important thing in the world, but I do like that she punished me and didn't let me completely disrespect the system, but she never let it hurt my confidence. Right? She played it very smart, and there is something interesting my parents did. At 14, they said, look, tough guy, you're not gonna be a student, it means you're gonna work. And so that means you're gonna start working now.
Yeah.
And so I do think one of the great things my parents did, and I think a lot of parents should think about this, is if you don't have a student, even if they're an artist and wanna sing and paint, you need to figure out how to establish massive work ethic, because the only thing that's controllable for somebody who's gonna bet on themselves in life is their work ethic. Their talent, you can get it better, right? You can lift more, you can get better at things, but my calves and ass aren't naturally the same as everybody else, and there's people who are naturally my chest is never gonna be as big as I necessarily want it, and there's certain things that are, right? But meanwhile, I'll sell you back the hat you're wearing right now.
Right.
I will. And so I think it's important to teach work ethic, because work ethic is the only thing that maximizes what you naturally have, and it's really the best you can ask for.
What about sports? What about sports with your children?
I'm very into it. I'm a little worried about what the New York City dynamic of sports is. I didn't grow up.
Sports are confusing today, it seems like to me. You have to be a part of something for so long, and it seems like it just...
Yeah, sports are tricky.
Like
here's what I would say. I'm gonna use sports a little bit differently. I'm obsessed with competition.
Yeah.
And I really hope my kids are competitive. One, I'll say it again, I'm not interested in imposing any of my will on them. If they're not competitive, it'll be disappointing because I love it for about 4 seconds, and then I'll trick myself into thinking it's great.
Right.
I'm just gonna go optimistic on it.
Right.
Sports is cool. Team sports are cool. I think it teaches people a lot of things.
A lot of messages that they might learn.
Yeah,
there
it's
that
cool.
They might not
Listen, I
learn
love
from you
sports.
necessarily.
I love sports. My kids have shown interest in sports this year for the first time in a meaningful way. My daughter especially, which is a lot of fun for me. Again, I'm very weird. I really want to reverse engineer my kids.
Right.
I want to pay attention to their actions, figure out what's driving them, and then quadruple down on it, and then instill the spirit of reality into it.
How do you pay attention to them with so many different things going on?
That's hard. It's hard, and I would tell you that that's
Do
probably...
sometimes you're on
Sure
your
I do.
phone, you
Sure I
just
do.
fucking
Sure I
throw
do.
it over your shoulder? Or...
No, I think my answer is I try.
Yeah.
First of all, I work too much. So the limited time I have with them, I try to stay focused, but I'm selfish in my own stuff too. I think it's important to be. I think one of the things I worry about with a lot of stay-at-home parents, and obviously I don't know what the percentage are, but I think we still live in a world where it's gotta be in the 80s, maybe even 90s, that the woman's staying at home. I watch all these, there's incredible women that work for me, women entrepreneurs. When they, it's been interesting for me. It feels like such a difficult game for, guys have it so easy when children come to the equation. I feel like there's an enormous amount of, the balance of guilt, of keeping your own identity, of, so many of these women, we're living in a great age where it's not the archaic ages anymore. There's a lot of women that have unbelievable ambitions, the greatest ambitions, equal to the ambitions of men, which they didn't have 50, 60, 30, 90 years ago. And so that transition seems very difficult, and I think when you lose yourself in your children, you lose.
Yeah.
You lose, which then means your children lose. One of the things that I'm very, very obsessed with is I can't believe how many parents wrap their own self-esteem into their children's accomplishments.
That's wild, isn't it?
So this has been the big eye opener for me. This was probably the one thing I think I anticipated quite a bit about parenting.
Right.
I think I nailed it. I'm good at predicting shit. Here's where I missed by a mile. Literally it struck me at a parent event. I was like, wait a minute. You actually feel better about yourself because your kid can play chess. You love your kid and you're happy for your kid. No, you think you're better because you're the parent of the chess player.
You're a badass.
It blew me away. My parents never wrapped their self-esteem in me. I wrap my self-esteem in only myself, not even my parents. I couldn't even I'm very empathetic, which is why I'm a good salesman, why I'm successful, and that's my gift, gratitude and empathy. I wasn't empathetic to that because I hadn't lived it, I never tasted it, I never understood it. And then it opened up everything, like, that's why people put bumper stickers of like Harvard, you know. Right. I'm like, oh shit. That's why parents force their kids into collecting debt. Right. To go to a university that makes the parent feel good versus the kid going to a secondary school or a community college where they don't. Like, it unlocked a whole world of like, fuck you, parents.
I saw that. Go ahead. I saw that in Little League with my older son. There were two of the assistant coaches for his team they would have to call the sheriff to calm them down because if there was a call at home plate that they didn't like or a strike or whatever.
That I actually agree with. I want to fight. I get sports muscles. That to me is a little. That to me could be a nuance of that. That could be true. If Rick wants to fight because he thinks he's little Timmy and he's a great baseball player, I would just fight because I just want my kid's team to win the game. Yeah, I just want to win the game. But it
does get pretty heated, doesn't
it? To me, those kind of things actually don't really freak me out as much as the politically correct world gets freaked out. I just don't think it makes any sense in the world. You're a parent. Your number one thing in the world is to do everything right by that child. Like, they're at your mercy. They're like your kid. Yeah. And parents are misfiring. They're selfish.
You ever heard this quote before? The best way to have an impact on the world is to go home and love your family. Ever heard that before? Mm-mm. It's by Mother Teresa.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think it's great. It makes a lot of sense to me because I'm trying to impact, lifters like this. I'm trying to impact trainers and people in the fitness industry, and I'm super excited about it. Then I'm at home and I'm in my phone.
I get it, man.
And my little girl's saying, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and I'm like, "What am I? Why am I doing this?"
I get it, and I think that's right. And I also think, I think it comes down to your circumstance too. Right. So I'm the son of a first generation immigrant who worked every minute, left before I woke up, came home after I slept in the home that I slept in every single night, took 0 travel days. So was in the same home. My dad slept in this is not a divorce, this is not a traveling father like I am. This is my father slept in the same home that I slept in my entire life. I just want everybody to hear this because this is insane actually in hindsight. From the day I was born to the day I left, like all of them. Like old school, like just came home every night. I don't know what else to tell you. And I never saw him once. And when I tell you I never saw him once, I spent more time with my kids this President's Day weekend than my dad did with me my entire childhood combined. Yeah. Like I just want people, like I don't think people really, like, even your,
was
like,
there ever
I don't think
a term of being resentful or was it like
didn't even cross my mind.
Okay.
What was your impression?
Thank God Dad worked so hard. We came from nothing. Now we have a townhouse.
Right.
That's what it was. It was gratitude, it was optimism, and there wasn't a need. My mom was so incredible. And again, every kid's different. I didn't need my dad. Did I notice that a lot of people's dads were at the Little League games? Absolutely. My dad went to 1 Little League game my entire career. And I was pumped. And I did good. It was an all-star game, I played well. But again, I was a kid that didn't need it. I didn't need my dad. I definitely needed my mom, you need something, but I didn't need anything. I've never been somebody who validates himself on anything on the outside. And that is a gift, and I think that goes back, you have two.
Kids, yeah.
Look, they're gonna be different, right? They're different. And so you gotta look like Misha, my daughter reminds me of me, she never gave a shit that I would leave the house. Bye, Dad. Misha, I'm gonna be gone for 4 days. I'll be back. Bye, Dad. My little guy's like that, not. And I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't realize how good I had it with Misha. This actually hurts my feelings. I'm emotional. This is sad. And you'll adjust. The other thing is, I just sent Tyler, my admin, hey, this is where I was going with this. This is very long-winded to the thing that how old are your kids?
13 and 9.
Right, so you guys are really in this zone. You know how you said the vegetables thing?
Right.
I'm very against that. Let me explain what I mean.
Against vegetables too.
By the way,
let's make a fucking stand.
Well,
together.
actually, here's a huge irony. You know this. I love vegetables. I'm against the cliche thing. So one of the biggest conversations I'm having with my wife right now is look, Lizzie, I go to Oslo, Hong Kong, Melbourne. I'm going on all these amazing trips. I'm like, you need to start. I know that you're a little bit more by the book. This is my wife. like I need you to be open to what I want to do, which is Misha's gonna miss 13 days of school a year that make no sense. And that's because I'm gonna take her to Oslo. And she's gonna see what daddy does, and we're gonna spend 8 hours on the plane together, and then I'm gonna take an extra, what will change, and you change. Right now, I'm in every place, when I sleep in one place twice, we slept in Belgium 2 nights, it's weird. I stay nowhere more than one night. Nowhere.
Crazy.
Trips are to Europe and Asia, these are 8-hour trips, 9-hour trips, 13-hour trips. They are insane.
We didn't even stay a night in Ireland.
Right, I went to Dublin and didn't even, never even slept there, right? Like, went from New York, overnight to Dublin, speech, get on a plane, go to Belgium. That's why we had 2 nights in Belgium.
Right.